Andy Stadler joins us now on Live at 5, and only a few weeks to go until tax deadline time. And I've decided since the last time we talked, I am not going to declare my gambling winnings from the NCAA bracket, mainly because I'm not going to win. That's part of it.
All right. Well, you have no losses to report, do you?
Well, I actually had to put money into it, but I guess I can't declare that unless I have equal amount of winnings, right?
Yes. You're learning. Yes.
I am.
Great.
I am. So I just have to learn how to win now so I can get the deduction as well. All right, so we've already covered that, but there are some other good tips that you wanted people to know about before they file by April 15th.
Yes. One of the first things is your W-4. There's been a new tax credit came out called a working tax credit, but what this has done, this has also changed the amount of taxes being withheld on an individual's tax return. And so each person needs to review their W-4. I've been advising a lot of folks that if you're married, to change that to married, but withhold at zero dependents, and if you're single, do single and zero, maybe have like an extra $10 or so withheld, simply because they're not withholding as much tax on your paycheck today as what they was a year ago, and that will affect your refund next year.
And I know some people didn't change their payroll deduction or reduction from last year with the different tax changes, and now they're kind of in for a surprise this year.
That's correct. We had a lot of clients that didn't recognize that, and where they normally maybe gotten a small refund, they are now owing this year. So this is what you want to do to fix that. Fix your W-4 work so they're withholding a little more tax on each of your paychecks.
Okay, because this will be the same issue next year as
That's
well.
correct.
Okay, good to know. What else should we be keeping in mind?
Well, when you're looking at your tax return, don't forget there's a lot of deductions out there that you can take that you, even if you don't itemize. Your property tax, you can write that off whether you itemize or not. If you've moved due to a job, you get to write that off whether you itemize or not. There's many other deductions, so just take a look at your tax deductions and credits and things to make sure you got them out there. Another thing is there's a huge amount of tax credits and reductions that are set to expire on December the 31st. So if you're fortunate enough to have a bonus coming to you from your job, be sure to take that in the year of 2010. Don't delay that until 2011. Be sure to take it in 2010 simply because tax bracket's going to be lower in 2010. Also, when you look at tax credits, the first-time home buyer's credit is set to expire on June the 30th. So if you're looking at buying a home, make sure you purchase one, or at least sign the intent to purchase one by April the 30th and then close on it by June 30th. That can be up to an $8,000 credit right there in itself.
And that's what was extended from last November, I believe.
That's
right?
correct.
Okay.
And they also extended that to include people who are prior homeowners. So if you're not a first-time home buyer, you've owned a home in the past, you still may be eligible to get up to $6,500 of that credit back. So
look into that.
Yes.
This is the time of year to buy houses, with it being springtime as well, so this might work out for you. But then that would go on next year's taxes, or would it still be for this year, if you buy a house before you file?
If you buy a house in 2010, you can go back and add it onto your last year's tax return and get a refund. In essence, amend your tax return.
Okay, perfect. And you had some other notes here. Anyone who's trying to save money by making their home more energy efficient, not only will you save money on your heating bills or your energy bills, but you can also save on your taxes.
That's correct. This is something that the Congress is trying to do to encourage people to save money on their home. You can get up to $1,500 refunded back to you on home energy credit. And this will be things like a new furnace you put in your home, a new hot water tank, new windows, new insulation, things that are energy efficient that you do to your home.
And also, a lot of people wondering about stock investments, and if you sell, if you show a profit, but also if you show a loss, what are the deductions there or tax implications you need to know about?
You know, with the stock market the way it's been the last couple of years, it's not been all that great. And a lot of people are showing losses in their investments that they made a couple or several years ago. But they may have some other investments that are actually showing a pretty substantial profit. If you do own some property that has appreciated in value, now might be the time to thinking about selling that property, because you can offset that gain with your loss you have on your stock. Definitely get with your tax advisor on this. Talk to your stock portfolio manager, but now's the time to look at maybe switching some things around in your stock market to take advantage of the tax situation.
So are the stocks just like gambling, where you have to have the amount of winnings equal the losses to get the deduction?
No, actually you don't.
So if you have any losses in stocks, you can write that off?
You can write it off, or you can prorate it out over a number of years.
Okay, good to know. And if you have any more questions for Andy, you can call his Terre Haute office at 478 888-2800, or the toll-free number is 800-447-2015. Stadler Tax Service has 4 locations, and for more on their services, go to mywabashvalley.com and click on the Valley Expert page. Andy, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right, now here's Leanne.